from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius, which is based on where the earth is and where the earth is moving, and how the earth changes in that position over a flow of just over 2,100 years or so. And it's not an exact date, it's just a flow of energy. And so as we're moving from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius, we're moving from the stories and experiences we've had where we were of service to our own detriment, where we were overgiving, where we were giving our power away. Some of the lower expressions of Pisces can be great teachers, where we see, oh, I had blind faith about something. I wasn't trusting my own intuition. I wasn't listening to what I really need. So we're meant to call that energy back to us. We're meant to call in the parts of ourselves that came here fully awake, fully alive with the energies, and to be able to tune into our own abilities more and take that into the age of Aquarius, which is also connected to our knowingness. And that knowingness isn't of the human mind, it's of the universal mind. Aquarius being about the water bearer and cosmic consciousness, spilling higher consciousness onto humanity for the betterment of the collective. So we're moving into some new ways of understanding ourselves and our own authenticity. I feel like this is a really big theme because we're meant to be, it's like breaking away from the unconscious expectations we had of ourselves, of what it meant to live a good life or a successful life, or what it meant to have certain experiences on the planet. I feel like we're moving into, these are the gifts I came in with. This is what is truly me. This is what really interests me and excites me. This is even more. It's almost like the dream that's bigger than I could have imagined. We're moving into this understanding of how to live from that space, how to really honor our authenticity in a whole new way, and not just as some trite phrase or an easy to say word. It's more like, no, I am here to be different, and that's what's needed. That's what the mosaic of humanity needs. So we're learning about our authentic frequencies, and astrology does that. Like, astrology is such an amazing tool for people to understand, wow, this makes sense, or I felt like this my whole life, or this, yes, this rings true. Astrology is so validating. It gets away from just the sun sign stuff that is very simplistic, and your astrology chart and your astrological energy becomes your own beautiful divine cosmic blueprint of you. And that's what's needed here in the age of Aquarius. Aquarius is astrology. Aquarius is understanding how you're different, and the ability to differentiate yourself is your gold, is what you're here to embody and how you're here to live this life. So that's why it's an exciting time for astrology, because it gives you that guidance of who you really are and more of what you came here to be.
You've got the book, which is the Art of Trapeze, which is I feel like an ode to so much like awakening and surrender. And I do wonder, especially at times like this, where we're being invited to, like, authenticity seems to be this call to arms, like you described. And for those, I imagine for certain people's psychology, it's going to be challenging to they're probably going to cling on to the old structures and the societal programmings and the familial programmings and all those things which sort of inhibit us from stepping into our authenticity. I'd just like to get a moment to sort of share from yourself the thoughts on, like, just the power of surrender, yes, but then also just the discomfort that comes from clinging at times where you're required to surrender.
Oh, absolutely. Having fear about the unknown is a human theme, a universal human experience. Fearing the surrender is normal, not knowing what to rely on or what to plan for next. The concept of surrender can seem beautiful on one hand, and then it brings up everything that we are fearing. And what we're moving into, it's going to strip people away from a lot of what they've known. And there's going to need to be support systems for that. I'm thinking about how, when we let go of one version of our life, the next version doesn't show up right away. There can be that uncomfortable pause and that sense of, it's all a mistake. What am I doing? I don't think I want this. It's kind of like, well, I know I quit the job I hated. It wasn't my true purpose. It paid the bills. It served a purpose, but now I'm ready for the next thing. And then there's that pause of like, but the next thing isn't here yet. And I find that those are powerful 0-point resets that also show us our power in a whole new way of what needs to be looked at, what programming, especially from your parents, from society, and from yourself, you're still holding. And this is a point where people can make really big new discoveries about what they want, especially when they venture into new territory, like astrology, like human design, like leadership training, like any kind of new section in the library that's self-help or allows you to understand yourself more. You start to open up to those parts of yourself you haven't met before. So that's going to be part of the surrender. People are going to be going through grieving process, of what was before the new comes. We're also going to be transitioning into some like wild new opportunities that we never thought were possible. A lot of people are going to be like, I can't believe I'm doing this next job, or I can't believe this is, what is showing up for me. So I feel like even though it's normal to be in that surrender and the uncertainty, at a human level, we're not made for that, but at a spiritual level, we are. At a spiritual level, we are made for all these energies. And I feel like people are going to, again, have that initiation into more parts of themselves this year.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. And in The Truth Always Rises, you focus on navigating like some of the darker passages in life. How do you find astrology helps as a guiding light during those times?
I have followed astrology for decades now. I started when I was probably 11 or 12. And then I stayed with it for many, many years because astrology always validated where I was. And there were times when I was in college and I was going through really hard things, and I would go to the computer lab. That's back in the 90s when you had to go to the computer lab just to have access to a computer. And I would go to these astrology sites just to read what was going on. And I would just feel a relief, like, okay, at least that validates what I'm going through and the hardships and the uncertainties and the unknowns. Astrology has many cycles, and in your chart, it's those cycles that are coming through that you're experiencing and that can explain why you have certain challenges or why there's certain hardships or slowdowns. Then it also shows when the energy changes. So astrology has been like one of my guardian angels. It's been something that's given me perspective on the good, the bad, the ugly. It's helped me, especially mentally, emotionally, and consciously, work with the universe. It's my connection to the universe. I feel like that's why people are drawn to it, because the more personal you get into astrology, you're like, this is the universe speaking to me, helping me understand my unique design, my unique path. And again, it feels so validating, like you can just feel seen. So I've always used astrology in all areas of my life. I've had different experiences where things were really unsettled, like, we want justice or we want things to be fair. And that doesn't always happen right away. We don't always get that. So I found that astrology has matured me. It's provided me with an understanding of timing and cycles and themes. It's also giving me an understanding of my choices. What choice do I want to make right now? What choice would support me? Even if it's a small choice, even if it's just really a simple choice. So I just feel like my life is better because of astrology, and it's definitely been something that's guided me through those dark passages of life that we all have.
Hey there, Inspired Evolutionary. If you absolutely loved this, well then here's a full conversation with this guest on the Inspired Evolution podcast. Check it out now.